Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday. If you're watching this when this is posted, it is a timeless message. So, when I was pulling these cards, there was a heavy, dense feeling of emotion connected to someone who was, or an event, it could be, that was a catalyst in your life. But I feel like this has to do with a particular person, and it revolves around a deep feeling of manipulation involved in this situation, in this story. So if this resonates with you, if you're feeling like a really heavy emotional feeling right now, like it almost came on like a rush for you, and it's bringing you down in a deep place, stick around. This might be a message for you. Remember, this is a collective message, so only take what resonates. Don't try to make it fit. Leave the rest, and let's get into it. So when I pulled these cards, I felt this immense rush of a deep emotion, and it was connected to like a catalyst, like something that jolted you in your life. It could have been a situation, but I feel very strongly the message coming in is that this is a particular person in your life. And you felt this trigger, an immense trigger come on that made you go back in time and think about this situation, this dynamic, whatever it was. Remember, everybody's different. This is covering a group, so it's a collective. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly. But through that emotional impact that you're feeling, it made you feel like you were going backwards. It made you feel like you were in this stall position that you were like, oh, here we go again. I'm feeling this intensity of emotion. Why am I feeling this when I thought I had made so much progress? It heavily revolves around you feel when you felt this emotion, you felt like, wait a minute, was I manipulated? And you're kind of going back into the story, into the narrative, trying to dissect the storyline. And part of you is almost like yourself manipulating the storyline to make it like, yes, this person was manipulating me, when in fact, it maybe wasn't that. So it could be different for everyone. But I feel like for a portion of you, this has to do with you're actually trying to make it like this person manipulated you because it would justify why everything turned out the way it did and why you were fooled. You felt like you were fooled, that you were played. And the reality is that in some of your situations, not everybody, but for some of you, that isn't the case. It wasn't manipulation, that it fell apart for other reasons. And that pullback or that catalyst, that event um, that impacted you so heavily had to happen for a particular reason. Like Spirit's saying, like, it wasn't you, it wasn't that person, it wasn't that situation, but it had to happen for whatever reason because it was part of that process of healing. But it's hard because you're feeling this depth of emotion and you're trying to justify it. And by trying to justify it, you're trying to figure out, well, was I manipulated? And the reality is, for some of the collective, that isn't the case. Some of it is. But for many of the collective, it's not the case. It's just you trying to manipulate that storyline because you want to find a justification as to why it happened. It doesn't make sense to you that it just happened because, or it happened because of some divine intervention, that there must have been some ulterior motive. There must have been some type of manipulation that happened. And right now, through this depth of emotion, it's making you feel very alone in your mind, and you're feeling like you're battling it out, going through these memories. And the other thing that came in strongly is that as you're reflecting back on this scenario, you're going through conversations and realizing that there were many opportunities where you could have asked prying questions or pressing questions to get to the core of what the disconnect was in this particular situation, connection, whatever it was. That there were a lot of things that you left unsaid or unasked, and that is unsettling for you. But it's almost like there's this energy coming in where you're like, well, this person didn't give me an opportunity. They didn't open that door. They kept me, okay, yeah, I'm hearing this right now. Oh my gosh. Arm's length that this person or situation that you were in was kept at an arm's length. and you weren't able to penetrate it enough to feel that comfort of getting intimate in asking the questions or having the conversations that you needed to have. And that in turn is making you feel like this person or situation was manipulating because it didn't allow you to speak up. But the reality is that you could have spoken up. It's just something inside of yourself was holding you back from doing that. So that this is such a, I feel like this is becoming a very specific energy, but let me know by liking the video if it connects with you. But here's the really important message that came through is that the divine is saying that this was divine intervention. This was something that had to happen, no matter how you're trying to manipulate that narrative right now in your mind to justify it, that this had to happen. It had to go in the direction it went into for the outcome to come out in your advantage. I'm hearing your advantage very strongly. And you are actually coming out, not that the other situation or person is losing, but you're coming out as the winner in this situation in the end. Because this separation, this event that happened that separated you from this situation or person had to happen for you to go into those next steps, to grow, to build. So whatever, and I'm hearing this strongly too, Spirit is saying whatever emotion you're feeling now, feel it. Allow yourself to feel it, purge the emotion, release it, and then move forward. It's going to allow you, if you process it, to be able to move through it because this is a really heavy, heavy emotion. Um, but you are going to step up as you work through what you're feeling right now because the divine is saying this absolutely had to happen. No matter how you try to justify it in your mind in some logic, because that's your ego mind trying to like find the reasons. But the divine is saying that this had to happen. No matter how you think it may have happened, it was something that had to happen. And the neuro linguistics that we got was really interesting because it ties into this whole thing. Turn down the volume. Diminish the power of negative thoughts by adjusting their volume. What you're feeling now, these negative thoughts, adjust the volume. You have the control to turn that dial. When a critical voice arises in your mind, that critical voice is trying to manipulate the narrative, trying to find the reasons, turn its volume down like a dial. Make it sound like a cartoon character or even replace it with silly music. Notice how the emotional intensity fades with the shifting soundscape. You need to turn the dial. Don't allow those negative thoughts to control you because what happens is if you allow those negative thoughts to spiral, your mental state's going to spiral and then you're going to sink into a mindset that is not going to be in your advantage. It's going to send you even deeper into a negative thinking and you don't want to be in that. And what you want to do is you know, change that mindset. So the next neurolinguistics card that we got was unconscious deletion. Deletion, it often occurs unconsciously. It creates blind spots in communication and decision making. And ask yourself this question, are you leaving things unsaid, right? We see here unspoken words, right? You're feeling like you didn't have an opportunity to say things. Make sure that you're vocalizing whatever it is that you're feeling, that you're saying what you need to, even if it's uncomfortable. Are you leaving things unsaid, either in your communication with others or in your own internal dialogue? Make sure that you're being honest with yourself and with others. And even if you feel, and I know for a lot of you, this is the case because Spirit is saying it to me strongly, you many times hold yourself back because you think that, oh, this isn't a time or it's inappropriate for me to say these things. Because the reality is throughout your life, you were shushed, you were quieted, you were told you were too much and that it wasn't a time, wasn't a place to say these things. No, you need to speak those unspoken words because that is what makes you sit in that mindset of what happened here. I feel like things were left unresolved. And when you don't speak your truth, it leaves this lingering of things being unsettled and it's very uncomfortable for you mentally. So whatever needs to be said, speak those words. Don't leave words unspoken. And the card that came out for the angels was 319. I said, angels, look, we need some good advice here. What do we need? And what came out was relationships. Bring forth a new love. Your angels are asking you to unblock your energy now. If you are in a romantic relationship, do something to reinforce the bond between you and your significant other. If you are single, this is a prime time to bring forth new love. Sit in meditation right now for a few moments as you visualize the white light of the divine shining on your heart chakra, clearing out any debris that blocks love energies from coming to you. For some of you, and I'm hearing this strongly, for some of you in the collective, this disconnect, these unspoken words, this narrative that you're running in your mind trying to justify had to do with someone who is a romantic connection. If it wasn't, it wasn't. It's not going to be like that for everybody. But for some of you, it's a romantic connection where you felt very deeply for this individual. So for some of you, it's going to be a matter of reopening your heart up to allow love to come in and release that person. For some of you, it's going to be opening your heart up to be in a loving state, to understand that the divine was involved, that had to happen, and this person may be returning in your life. And if you're not allowing your heart to be open in a state of love, you're not going to be in a mode of receiving, and you're not going to be open to hearing that person out, because they might have words, unspoken words, that need to be spoken. And if you're not willing to hear them, you're not going to get that closure that you needed for whatever it is that happened in that particular situation or dynamic. And then Spirit said split the deck, and wow, 555, major changes. You guys are going through some major changes. Get your mindset right for what's coming. This is like, okay, I'm hearing this. Oh, wow. I'm hearing this right now. This is a test. The divine is testing you right now. They're putting you through an emotionally charged situation. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. You're going through a heavily emotionally charged situation right now. Your mindset is being challenged. So take this on like a challenge. Your angels are alerting you to a new energy coming your way. You're getting supercharged. You're going through this because it's testing you. Change can be seen as a negative thing, but with the right mindset and the right alignment to your goals, it's actually your angel's way of readjusting your life to fit your desires. What you're going through right now is a test. The divine is saying, we're going to put you through this to see how you're going to handle it. Are you going to open your heart up? That's what Spirit's saying right now. Are you going to open your heart up? Are you going to allow love in, however that looks? Are you going to look towards this situation in a loving, open way? Because none of us are perfect. And whoever this person was or situation was, they are not perfect. And you have to approach it in a state of love to accept those unspoken words. Whether you want to or not, it's up to you, right? You got to use your discernment. It doesn't mean you have to. Take a shower or bath using water to purify your mind and body and promote your mental alignment with the great things that are on their way to you. Cleanse yourself. Get connected to water. You're getting new energy coming in. This is huge, 555. If you see this number repeatedly, know that you're going through a major change. You have been tested. You are being tested by the divine. And then we have the word, this one came out. I said, Spirit, we need a word that's really going to help the collective through this, to navigate this. And the word that we got was vulnerable. Emotional, naked, and unfiltered. You're emotionally naked and unfiltered right now. That's exactly how you are right now. You're feeling very vulnerable emotionally. This is jolting you in a lot of ways. This is me, baby. There is some danger in showing this side of me. I am putting this connection on the line by opening up. However, the risk is smaller than the potential reward. Those unspoken words makes you vulnerable, right? You're opening yourself up, putting yourself, that connection on the line by opening up. But the risk is worth it for the potential gain. To love yourself enough to be seen, love yourself. Exposure could mean that your heart is shattered, and trusting the world with your soft underbelly goes against most natural instinct in the animal kingdom. To allow this to happen requires you to take back authority over your body and mind. A hesitant but necessary ask for help. Ask the divine for help. That's what the divine's telling me right now. Reach out and ask for help. Ask the divine, say, help me navigate this right now, how I'm feeling this deep emotion. You do not need to do this alone. The divine wants you to know they are there for you. Universe, source, they are there for you. God is watching over your situation right now. They are helping you. They are there for you. Disclosed, because disclosing limitations makes you stronger. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. This is a time to reach out to divine and be able to come to some type of resolution in this situation that you're in. And in preparation, when setting your intentions as you're going through this, ask yourself these questions. What is something you find difficult to admit? I mean, really look at this situation you were in. What is the real truth of this? Dive into it, because it takes two, right? It's just not that other person. It's just not you. The both of you had a role in whatever happened. What are you actually afraid of? Are you afraid to actually speak those unspoken words? Is there a fear of rejection? Is there a fear of acceptance that this person or the situation might turn in your favor and you might have to allow yourself to be vulnerable? What healing affirmations can you share with your inner child? Yes, yes, Spirit. Your inner child wants to play, and you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to be able to play, to allow yourself to have that playful spirit. Because right now, Spirit is saying your inner child is struggling. Your inner child is really struggling through this emotional state, this depth of this wave of heavy emotion that's come in. So Spirit is saying, allow your inner child to be vulnerable. Speak those unspoken words, even if, okay, yes, I hear this too. Allow yourself to speak them out loud. If you're sitting alone, have that conversation. Release whatever it is that you need to say. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. All right, everybody. That's the energy check. When you're setting your intentions, keep these things in mind. If you've been feeling this, hit the like button, make a comment below. I wish you guys well and blessings.